Concentrate. Take in all that is around you. Let's go again.
I have reason to believe the Empire is still a threat.
We face another war. Let's begin.
Ahsoka Tano. Anakin spoke highly of you.
Get ready.
Nice trick. Got any more? Let's begin.
Who is this Jedi?
Ahsoka. Ahsoka.
Ahsoka Tano. Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
Before the end of the Clone Wars, I walked away from him and the Jedi.
In this war, you will face more than just droids. As your master, it's my responsibility to prepare you. I won't always be there to look out for you.
I could use the help.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Don't be afraid. And trust your instincts. I know you can do this, Ahsoka.
Hello there. This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome to my Ahsoka Episode 1 and 2 preview video. We are going to be discussing everything that we know about the upcoming episodes and overall premiere for the upcoming Ahsoka show. We're going to go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video, we are going to be taking a read from Collider.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well, as a read with a franchise as vast as Star Wars that has a massive catalog of beloved characters. Not even the most recognizable ones have a story quite like Ahsoka Tano. It's hard to believe that there was a point in time when fans thought the idea of Anakin Skywalker having a Padawan was preposterous, since no such thing had ever been mentioned in the live-action films. Yet slowly but surely, a young Ahsoka captured the hearts of the fandom, going from an arrogant learner into a patient Jedi Knight in the Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated show. And when she left the Jedi Order to have a new life, many assumed that this was the end of her journey, and yet she still chose to fight in Star Wars Rebels, even coming face to face with her former master Anakin, then Darth Vader. Her duel with Vader also should have been the end of her journey, yet she somehow cheated death and finally made her glorious live-action debut in The Mandalorian, even making a brief appearance in the Book of Boba Fett as well. Now that the fan favorite has become a household name to a point, her story is set to continue once again with her very own live-action show. 2.5 years after it was first announced, Ahsoka is almost here, and we finally got some long-awaited details for her first ever solo show, so here's everything that we do know about Snip's next adventure in her show. To begin, on the premiere date, it had actually been moved up a day just last week. Instead of premiering on Wednesday, August 23rd at like 3 in the morning for Eastern Standard Time, it will now be releasing a day early on Tuesday, August 22nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so many of us won't have to wake up at 3 in the morning to enjoy our favorite characters. This will also follow suit with the rest of the show's releases for their episodes, all coming out on Tuesdays now instead of Wednesdays. And I think it's clear that we all know it's coming out on Disney+. Back in last year of 2022, some footage did premiere at the show's panel at Star Wars Celebration, though unfortunately for those not in attendance, the sizzle reel was held behind closed doors for those in attendance exclusively. As expected though, however, plot details and some of that footage had been leaked, and most other plot details have been kept under wraps, but it did reveal a major connection to Rebels with the confirmation that Ahsoka would actually feature Harrison Dula and Sabine Wren from Star Wars Rebels in live action. We had also got an extremely brief first public look at the show in 2023's Disney Plus's sizzle reel, of where we see Ahsoka taking off her hood before her next adventure hits the streaming service. Not a bombshell reveal, but the footage potentially means that a new trailer won't be far behind. behind, and it wasn't far behind because a couple weeks after that, on April 7th of 2023, the first official teaser trailer for Ahsoka had been released to the public during Star Wars Celebration of this year. The teaser runs at just under 2 minutes. It gives us a first look at the Ghost crew from Star Wars Rebels in live action, showcasing Sabine Wren, Harrison Dula, and a brief look at Ezra Bridger. The trailer had also teased the arrival finally of Grand Admiral Thrawn and a look at new Sith characters Baylan Skoll and his apprentice Shin Hati, who aren't necessarily Sith. It's something that's a little bit more complicated than that and will be revealed in the Ahsoka series, but for now they can be referred to as Dark Jedi. This year all being said, I think we all understand the characters and the history of leading up to the show. What's the show actually about though, however? Like pretty much every recent Star Wars project, plot details are being kept under to a strict minimum and under wraps, but that doesn't mean we don't have a pretty good idea of where Ahsoka's story is going next. Towards the end of her episode in The Mandalorian Season 2, Ahsoka's goal became quite clear of why she was even there in the first place, and why she had been brought into the story of The Mandalorian and now the Mandoverse. After her duel with Morgan Elsbeth, Ahsoka made it clear that she was on the hunt for a bigger fish, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Chiss Imperial leader and a major antagonist from Star Wars Rebels and the novels before. And despite tangling with a multitude of Sith Lords and Inquisitors throughout, Thrawn was one of the most ruthless and formidable opponents that the band of rebels had ever faced, pushing the team to their physical and mental limits. The show's conclusion felt less like an ending and more of a cliffhanger at that, with both Thrawn and Rebels protagonist Ezra Bridger disappearing into the vastness of space into the unknown regions, also kind of described as what's called a new space. So if Thrawn truly is alive like Ahsoka believes he is, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure he is, seeing him in the trailer, there's a very good chance that Ezra could still be out there as well, and I believe it that he will be in the Ahsoka series, making Ahsoka not just a continuation of Ahsoka's story, but also a direct sequel to Star Wars Rebels and continuing on the story of all of those characters. The official synopsis of the Ahsoka show reads, set after the fall of the Empire, Ahsoka will follow the former Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano as she investigates an emerging threat to a vulnerable galaxy. And before we continue on with who's in the cast of the Ahsoka show, the runtime for the first 2 episodes, as episode 1 clocks in at 54 minutes and 21 seconds, and without credits that would be 51 minutes really and 6 seconds. The second episode clocks in at 42 minutes and 15 seconds with credits, and without credits it's clocking in at 38 minutes and 33 seconds, which altogether is around an hour and 36 minutes and 36 seconds of new Star Wars. It isn't necessarily as surprising because this is exactly what every other live-action Star Wars show normally clocks in at, around anywhere from 45-ish minutes to an hour long. Sometimes a little bit shorter though. That being said, Ahsoka isn't the only character making the jump from animation to live action, as Natasha Liu Bordizzo will be playing Sabine Wren, a Mandalorian freedom fighter who once was in possession of the fabled Darksaber. How she lost the saber to Moff Gideon, it will probably be addressed, but the character's inclusion makes perfect sense, giving her close relationship and friendship with Ahsoka. Imana Stefani will be playing another Rebels character, being Ezra Bridger, who is currently missing at this point in the Star Wars timeline. Mary Elizabeth Winston, who would be playing Harrison Dula, is a former Rebel pilot who is now working for the New Republic. The late Ray Stevenson, who's going to be playing Baylan Skoll, may he rest in peace, and David Tennant, who is playing the lightsaber crafting droid Hu Yang, a character he previously voiced in the Clone Wars animated show. Ivana Sakano, who's playing Baylan Skoll's apprentice. Genevieve O'Reilly will reprise her role as Mon Mothma, having been in Rogue One and Andor recently. I believe it'll be interesting to see how Star Wars politics will play out during this era. And lastly, Diana Lee Insanto will be reprising her role as Morgan Elsbeth after making an appearance in The Mandalorian, of course. And I think that we all know that Lars Mikkelsen is reprising his role as Thrawn in live action after much fan support after having voiced the character in Rebels. Dave Filoni is serving as the showrunner and writer of the Ahsoka show, having created Ahsoka almost over 10 years ago. Dave Filoni has been involved with pretty much every other single Star Wars television project, both animation and live action, in the recent couple of years. This feels remarkably appropriate given that Ahsoka is his Star Wars character that he had created for the Clone Wars, not to mention being the creator of Rebels as well and having worked on that show. So as per usual, Filoni will also be producing the show alongside Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy. As if Filoni wasn't already doing it enough, he's also going to be directing the 1st and 5th episodes. Steph Green, who had previously directed a couple of episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, is going to be directing episodes 2 and 3. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse's Peter Ramsey is going to be directing episode 4, and Jennifer Getzinger from Daredevil is the director of episode 6. Geeta Vincent Patel, who has directed House of the Dragon, is going to be directing episode 7, and the one and only Rick Famuyiwa is going to be the director of the finale, episode 8. Having previously directed multiple episodes of Star Wars within the Mandoverse, multiple episodes of The Mandalorian, and the Book of Boba Fett. Rose Dawson having previously praised Filoni's work and saying that she wants to keep working together to bring Ahsoka to life, saying it in quote, "I hope that Filoni continues to bring Ahsoka along because he's been very loyal to her over the years, and she is to him. That's not going away anytime soon, so any kind of way and iteration that I can keep working with Dave and being inspired by him and challenging him when I can, it would be awesome." And that quote right there, that brings up the questions of a potential season 2 of Ahsoka, and nothing is being heard of as of right now. The only thing that we do know about a potential season 2 for Ahsoka is it's being said if the numbers are there and if the first season performs well enough and is received well enough from the fans, then they want to do a season 2. And lastly, on when this is going to be taking place actually in the Star Wars timeline, this year is taking place in the Mandoverse. So all seasons of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew for whenever that comes out as well, are all taking place in this post-Return of the Jedi original trilogy kind of era, set 30 years before the events of the sequels and The Force Awakens and right after the events of Return of the Jedi. It has even been said more specifically that Ahsoka takes place right at the same time as The Mandalorian Season 3, but I kind of doubt that, and I have some of my theories on that. That is something that's been said by Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who's playing Sabine in the show. This year, all being said, this has been my preview video for the Ahsoka shows, episodes 1 and 2, in anticipation for everything that we know about these upcoming episodes, and really the overall show to a point here as well. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your theories in the comment section down below. What do you guys want to see with these first 2 episodes and really the overall show here as well? I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking in the comment section down below. Be sure to also grab that subscribe button if you haven't already. Not only are we talking about all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel, but I'll also have reaction videos and breakdown videos here for each and every Ahsoka episode here on the channel every Tuesday. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Have a great one, guys. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.